this again.
Oh, okay. Well, can I talk about it then? Can I
Hmm.
talk about the horizontal? I
Yeah,
think
no.
compared to the last time you did horizontal, it the experience was 10 times better. There was no delay between the two.
Yeah, you know, I think part of that is when you
The
eventually
knowledge.
start to realize, like, okay, um, I would think I was sharing the same stream key. I was making a lot of mistakes, right? A lot of stupid mistakes, and doing this one, yeah, a lot of stupid mistakes.
You
That
mean the first time around?
the first set of times around, because you know how many times we tried that. You remember, right?
Right. And I remember that you had to try to align the screen so you could see it clearly on both.
Yeah, and
It was like a dual. I think you were like doing some type of dual sharing, or you were
it was a complete it was a complete headache. Um, trying
you
to make
bootlegged it.
bootleg did it right. Uh, made it George janky as all get out. But eventually, you know, you get it. You start getting it right more times you get it wrong. But
No,
yeah,
it looked good because I saw it didn't look like I was looking at a vertical stream on the horizontal because even the
right.
screen ratio, so you actually had the wide screen on the horizontal and the vertical basically had I don't know what you did between this time and the last time you tried to do this, but it looked good. It looked really good.
Yeah, I think one of the issues that we realized is when it was sharing the same. It was like
Stream
the
key.
stream, yeah, the same stream key, and it would essentially end up degrading the stream.
Hmm.
And you could like check out the stream health, and it would just one of them every time we started. I mean, every week the stream health would just be absolute garbage. One would just straight up say
Yeah.
it's poor, just poor. You know, um, so that gets frustrating,
Hmm.
and it's too easy. Essentially, I guess like with anything else that you ever attempt to do, like the
Hmm.
first time is gonna suck, and it should suck. Imagine how many things you start the first time around, and it's fantastic. You just nail it out the park, and then what do? You don't try harder. There's nothing to fix in it, and I think part of me likes the attempt. How do we fix this?
The challenge.
Yeah, this is the thing that I want to do. I think would look cool, sound good, right?
It sounds good.
Hmm.
And then give that a try.
That's not really consistent for me in every space. I wish it was though. I wish I had that type of motivation, um, just in different areas of my life because professionally, like when it comes to like my thing, my trade, I feel motivated I'm going to find this. I'm going to fix this. They gave me this project at work, and they said, "Hey, we tried doing this for the past 2 years, and we just haven't gotten back to it because we don't know what we're doing." And they're like, and you never done this before for us, but can you fix it? I'm like, yeah.
Right.
I got excited, and it was a mess. They sent it. They just threw something at me, and it was true. It was a 2-year-old file that hadn't touched, and it was a mess.
Don't want a
And
floppy
they said,
disk.
"Oh, yeah, exactly." And it said, "Hey, get back to us next week." I was determined. I'm like, nope. I was determined to get it to a point where it made sense, to where at least data could flow through and you could get like the results you need, or whatever that means in the accounting and finance, where I wanted to get it done that day. And things kept breaking, and I kept redoing and rerunning files and redoing it to make it in like throwing formulas together to make it automated. I'm just doing, testing. And I'm like that when it comes to my career or when it comes to work things. But I just don't have that same sense of motivation sometimes. Or it's not as intense. I'll say that. Some areas I don't have it. In some areas it's not as intense.
Yeah. I think there was this moment in time years ago, I was a teenager. And we used to go to my cousin's house in Jersey all the time for like, that was like our vacation.
So you were in Jersey. So you have roots in Jersey.
Yeah,
so Jersey raised you a little bit, huh?
My Jersey slander is all contractually obligatory being born in New York. You know, when they slap you in the bum so you can start crying, they also make you sign on a dotted line that you will slander Jersey at every given opportunity. So, but my cousin, you know, one of my favorite cousins, him and his family lived down in Jersey. And and this is like cousin on my mom's side, but we loved, you know, Auntie Anne, we loved her, rest in peace. Absolutely loved her. She was Jamaican. she flat out, like, I remember when we were younger, she was straight up telling me about stuff like, yo, taxes. Right? I'm 16 years old. Hey, you talking about taxes? I'm like, what? what you talk about? Taxes. But it's funny the type of things that happened to you early on and how they end up being critical to you now. And now I understand what she's talking about taxes. Like having multiple houses is like, I get it. And she had this place in South Orange, but they were together. And my uncle was a pediatrician and she was an OBGYN. So this is like the Huxtables, right? That type of, you know, it's the power couple. But you don't realize that in real life, all that means is no one's home. Right? No one is legitimately home. So when we would spend time there, and we'd say like a week, 2 weeks maybe, and it's just like you got the run of the place. And they had like cousins, like she had cousins who would come from Jamaica, and they would be live-in nannies. Sometimes they hired out like a live-in nanny. But that's the other side of the job. We're all doing this nonsense. Like that's the other side of that. But you know, when we would go there and end up getting divorced, as you know, a lot of power couples end up finding themselves in that situation because no one's home, no one's spending time together. She bought a place in Mountain Lakes. Gorgeous. Gorgeous. Right? And she was talking about taxes a lot, right? But like a tri-level, you know, one of those driveways you drive down to, it actually loops around, walkable to the park. It's surrounded by trees. The backyard is huge, and we're city children, right? City, right? You could, you know, you could link arms and touch your neighbor's, you know, house. And my cousin, right? I'm working McDonald's now, right? Sucks, absolutely sucks. But he told me something. Yeah, I'm doing all this overtime, and I'm out of shape. Right? I'm just out of shape. And he's looking at me. This is why he's playing on it. I think he was playing Diablo on the computer. He's like, turned and looked at me. You can have all this, say, determination, dedication to doing overtime at work. You can't do it you can't turn that to get into shape.
And at the time you're 16.
I'm like 16, 17. Right, 16, 17.
What? And what's out of shape for a 16-year-old? I'm just. But
no, you know, we started getting. You know, this is when the advent of the internet is coming on. But it was this one moment in time that made me think, shit, yo, you're right. Not everything is so like linear. So if you are good at this one thing, like if you know, you see plenty of people are in great, amazing shape, and you know, say just specifically, you see these dudes in phenomenal shape, these black dudes in phenomenal shape, yet you don't have a job. But what did it take you to get in that type of shape? That type of relentless showing up, that type of discipline of not eating this, not moving like this, and you just come in deciding this is how I'm going to be. Yo, why can't you turn that around to these other areas and aspects of your life? And
it's the value of the reward.
Undoubtedly.
You honestly have to, because I'm thinking a guy who stays in shape, right? The reward is health. Of course, it's health, but it's attention, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
And I think you said it this way before, like, the other stuff is not sexy. You got to do the stuff that's not sexy, right?
The unsexy, right? The unsexy work. That stuff that has you just showing up again and again and again and again. But if you do the unsexy work in one area, what's stopping you from doing the unsexy work in another?
Right.
It's to me, I think it was broken down to a small enough fundamental level where it's like, oh shit, you're right. If it the same things that keep me doing something that I absolutely hate, absolutely despise, I hate this job, I hate working with them, but I'm sitting here and I'm showing up again and again and again and again. Oh yeah, why can't I do that? Why can't I continue to do that?
Right.
I couldn't come up with a good reason why I couldn't.
I mean, and someone had this conversation when you were young, which, it's good to plant those seeds in young soil. As you get older, it's harder. It's harder to get to give us the budge once we get older. But it's never too late. It's just,
like I was talking about on the previous live stream about pride. I like sometimes like that. I like to think, if other people are doing it, and these other people I look at, I was like, you're not better than me, right? Like you don't have a bunch of other things going for you that I don't. Why can't I do that? Why can't I show up? Like, I see you doing something, like, even like sometimes you go and you see someone doing something professional, doing a play, right? They're in an orchestra, they're doing something amazing that takes years of dedication and talent, and I like to think I should be able to do the same thing if I put in a similar amount of effort. It becomes
but think about those guys who don't come from that space. They come from a mindset of insecurity, or they've been told so much that they can't, or they'll never measure up to XYZ, right?
Yeah.
What does it start? What's the first step?
Yeah, this is a conversation I was having with Blair. We were talking about, how many times they talk about, like, oh, the CIA did such a good job, it doesn't have to do anything, or it's a psyop. One of those things that, and I don't disagree that at some point in time this was a concerted effort. On the other hand, I think we're at a spot where if you would go and look at the psyop program to keep the Black community down, they haven't really updated the software, the playbook, in quite a while, because it's gotten to this point where it's self-propagating. So yes, you didn't come from the space where you were able to deal with these things or talk about these things or move in the right way about these things. But at some point in time, you have to start and say, like, what do I want? I think for me, it wasn't so much that I was raised under the right sun. I'll never discount and say, I don't want to be one of those, suburb rappers to say, I came up from the hood, I got it from the mud. But I remember being so, like, jealous and envious of people around me that were getting results that I wanted. If, of course, like with men, a lot of us were end up being motivated Yo, these guys are getting the chicks. They're getting all the chicks. Yeah, I want to be that. I remember in high school, this dude named Aubrey. He had abs, right? Back then, it was a secret. How do you get abs? You know, we didn't know about calories. Just that was his lot in life. He had abs, and the amount of women.
I feel like the boys in high school, if they were athletes, they had them. I mean, I saw like the huge football players, but like most of them.
Right, but we didn't know there's a correlation, right? A direct correlation to, because they're eating the same shitty food we're eating. We just didn't correlate the amount of time they spend in practice, the amount of time, the amount of effort they put in, the amount of time they're in the gym. We didn't really understand a lot of that. We just saw we saw muscle fitness, muscle health, but we weren't actually. It was like Playboy, right? You're not reading the articles. You're just looking. So we just say, all right, bet this is what it is. We're gonna keep it pushing. So he had abs, and all the chicks were like, this guy was dumb as rocks, but he had abs.
Well, here's my question: How do they know he has abs in high school?
Oh no, he was always lifting his shirt.
Oh god!
Every goddamn moment he had was lifting his shirt. Yeah,
he sounds like one of those guys who was just another hell out of me in school.
Yeah. Yo, welcome to the channel, man. Glad you made it. It's morning in the Philippines. Glad you're here. No, we're just kicking it, right? We're just kicking it. So subscribe to the channel if you're new here, of course. But we're just shooting. We just did another live stream, which is talking about mental health and all that. But yeah, make yourself comfortable. But yeah, listen, the dude, he was always taking his shirt off. We had like talent shows, and he was always doing stuff like that, taking the shirt off, showing off, and then
a genuine performance.
Right. I mean, genuine was big back then, right? So anxious. So again, I'm saying, like, you see the tension. If we're, and this is what, after covering so many things on the channel, I like to sincerely point out, when women are throwing themselves and showing their attention, giving these people attention, that plays on us. We see that. It matters. And a lot of men like to deny that their love and lust for women isn't one of the strongest motivators they have.
It's a huge motivator.
Yeah. And once you master that, you find yourself in a much better position. You can, I'm saying master, wrangle is probably a better idea. Right? I'm not speaking for women. I don't know how it works with women. You guys had this ultimate PR campaign, PR team that was just like, horny? No, women don't do horny. Eloquent species. They smell flowers. They smell of flowers and roses.
I mean, that's from the men's point. Yeah, from the men's point of view. Because I mean, you're talking about high school or middle school.
Yeah. No,
girls hit that sexual peak first. So you're saying it. The guys are doing this because the girls want it. Because we knew early on, like, okay, I like this.
Yeah.
I like to look at this. Okay.
Yes.
So we were a bit more advanced, which then played, it puts us in a position to choose and get the attention of the boys, because the boys are like, once they found out, like, okay, this is what the girls like, then we had to control,
yes.
We control the game.
Yes. And we didn't have any proper tools. It's like the first time Superman found out about kryptonite. What's going on? Why I feel so bad? Why? Oh, it's probably that glowing green rock that is weirding me out.
Like it's sucking all my powers away.
Right, now I feel weak, right? But instead, now you don't understand what changed with Shorty from yesterday to today. But now you can't stop looking at her. And I mean, the thing that changed was you. Hormones finally. But now you can't stop thinking about this. Now they ask you, hey, go up here and solve this thing, and you rock hard. What's supposed to happen? What am I supposed to do? You're just stuck. You're just stuck. So when we see so many people try to say as if, yo, I'm just done with women, I'm done. Hey, I get it. But that attraction is still real. The attraction is still there.
I mean, the source of the frustration is the same source as the, I guess, the wanting the admiration, right? Like, who you want admiration from is the same source that's frustrating you.
Yeah.
It's all tied back to woman. The motivation is that connection or to be noticed by a woman.
Yes.
I mean, but then I would think, because it's for women as well, as we evolve, as we have more life experiences, other things become motivators, right? Stability, success, wealth, family, things of that nature, even career,
Yeah.
It's just, how do you take that driving force that, like you just said, the guy who doesn't have a job but he's in the gym, how does he translate that? How do you say, okay? I mean, I would guess if it's you looking good to a woman is your motivation. I mean,
yeah.
If you had a job that looked good to a woman,
no. You're laughing, but that's a lot of it right there. Like the first time I got in shape, I was 21, 22, and maybe early 20s, probably like 20s, 19, 20. And the first time I got consistent in the gym. We were working out before, workout style. But it was because it was like, I want to look good naked. That was it. Every other reason that, I threw out there in the beginning, that wasn't real. It never stuck. So when you wake up and you're tired or you finish work and now the gym or the bench is looking at you and you're like, I don't really care because my reason was shit. My reason was just shit. And until you can end up finding that reason that resonates with you, that has nothing to do with, external forces. I think that's when that motivation or that, at least that discipline starts becoming almost like, I don't want to say unlimited, but, it's very hard for you to deplete a lot of that, to run out of that at that point. So that's what my cousin was trying to tell me. You can put all this stuff together and motivate yourself to do this overtime in a job that you hate.
Right.
But you can't turn it at that same. You can't muster that out.
Hours standing over.
Yeah, fries, hot oil fries. Right.
Coming out of McDonald's, feeling like
putting the fries in the bag, but you just can't suddenly turn around and just be like, oh, bet this is simple. And it's just, at that point, we understood. We started to understand. I guess it was a little later for me where I started to understand the math behind it, and I've always been, I think, motivated by things that I can measure. That's probably the scientist from my father that I get. I can measure and say, all right, this is what calories are worth, or this is what macros are. This, that. Okay, cool. How much do I need to this? Once it became measurable, I brought down a concept from the ether, from the ethereal, and I said, all right, this is a language I understand. This is now, it feels closer to cause and effect. We can do this to get that. Boom, we can make this happen. Right? Oh, wow. Listen, man, I appreciate that $50, chat.
Okay.
Hey, listen, my man, I can't say enough about that. I appreciate that.
Exactly.
We're just, we're chatting. We're having some fun. We're relaxing and having this conversation.
Yeah, I don't even know what's going on in the chat.
Oh, you're not in there, okay? No, dude just dropped $50. We super appreciate that. Listen, if you're new here, we chat. Jump in the chat with us. whatever's on your mind, whatever you're feeling. We had a stream about mental health. We just kind of shared some stories. So this is kind of just the after party, right? We're talking, jump in, have a conversation. For subscribers for the channel, then we can do like some calls in if you want to share some of your stories and testimonials. We can get that going. For now, see you in the chat. Subscribe to the channel, like the stream, all the good stuff. All good stuff.
Yeah, like I'm just a placeholder. I'm not here to weigh in on mental health at all. But I can't say.
Right. Go ahead.
I was gonna say I can't say that it's something that is really important to me because I have my tribe. Like I have those people who are fixtures in my life and have been for some time now, whether it's in most of my life or within the past decade. And I do have some incredible men close to me who have gone through so much just within the past year or so. We were just talking about this economy and people seeing layoffs. And I lost my job last year, more because that's just the nature of my work and I'm more contract and looking at how long it took me to get back into work. But there's some men in my life who are battling, staying motivated. That's what we talked about motivation, staying motivated to keep the morale and keep that confidence, because a lot of people, I don't want to say men, but a lot of people do define their success or their value by holding a job, actually holding a steady job, and then they question what am I without it, but then they may even push them to settle for whatever job I can get in this economy versus actually knowing your worth and being able to come to the table and negotiate your number, or even just taking your time to not rush into a job just to, yes, bills, we can't deny that, but that's some of the big concerns, specifically with the men I personally know, and it's very trying, it's especially when it takes on average 4 to 6 months to find a job,
right? Mm-hmm. And it's no guarantee that you're going to replace that job at that rate, which you were probably tenured and seniored at your other job. We do. Not telling you because you already know. we do Money Mondays on the channel, and one of the things we talked about last time was about that emergency fund, having that set, because when it hits, it hits. When it hits, it hits. And even when you have a government job, sometimes Congress decides, I'm not going to talk to you, I'm not going to talk to the House, I'm not going to talk to the president, I'm going to go on vacation, I'm going to go on a recession. And then you kind of left. How many people from TSA were left without paychecks? Mm-hmm. And I remember when I used to work with TSA, then this is way back then. So this is when Congress was actually functional, when they actually talked with one another and they made actual things happen. You didn't see a lot of that dysfunction. But you can imagine the last shutdown, or at least partial shutdown, how long people went without pay, and then the rest of the world keeps turning. The rest of the world keeps turning. The bills keep coming. The obligation does not stop. And then you're just left there because it's so easy to end up in a spot where it's lifestyle creep. It's, I'm going to get to it later. This emergency, then this emergency, then that emergency. It's a never ending cascading fail. And you just keep pushing, the thing down the pike a little bit. And then all of a sudden, life comes in and it says, call. I want to see what's in your hand. You're like, but I meant to. I was on the verge of. I was about to get it right. And life's like, I don't give a shit. And then, ironically, our society doesn't have a lot of stuff set up for men. Stuff goes wrong for a man, we look at him and say, "Oh, figure it out, man."
Right.
And figure it out. And you're like, cool. I get that. I get figuring out for myself, but I got kids. I got a family that
who's depending on me.
Who's depending on me. I don't mind living in a car, living in a room, right? Living with a communal bathroom. I don't mind going to that low. But when you got people that rely on you, mm-hmm. right? And then you're not crux. You're not that position where you one or two things. You either have to accept what you can accept because these people are relying on you, or you have to accept what these people can accept. So people who's relying on you. You're in this spot. It's just conundrum.
Yeah. I saw this, like you said, there's not a lot of spaces or tools for men. And I was watching a video earlier. I mean, to share with you, and this woman was saying she's a licensed therapist. she got some pushback. I guess in a previous video that I had seen, where I guess she was talking about creating safe spaces for men, and a lot of her the comments were, why are we coddling men? They don't need that. They don't need, it's bad enough that there's this attack against women. I guess specifically black women. Why are we coddling black men? Why are we giving them a pass? And she was giving distinction between coddling and a safe space, where coddling excuses accountability.
Yes.
But a safe space gives them, the opportunity to not only own up to, but to figure it out.
I think I just lost you there.
Yeah.
There you go. You're back.
Okay. Sorry, my earbud. But she was basically saying that there's a distinction, because when there's a safe space, it allows room for not only them to own up to, whatever they're responsible for, but to give them that opportunity to process it within their own time and come up with the solutions instead of being pressured or forced to because of a role, or saying that no, you can't do that because you're a man. You don't get to not be accountable. Just take blame and fix. Take blame and make it right. And so it's not coddling, versus coddling just allows them to completely dismiss whatever responsibility they had in a problem or issue, and not even be forced to come up with a solution. Just saying like, oh, he's a black man, leave him alone.
Yeah.
Scram.
With the scene.
Get out here.
You're right. I think one of the issues that a lot of us, and just as a black man, how many times I hear stuff about being coddled, mm-hmm. and I really end up really confused, because I can't remember being coddled. I remember being told, in no uncertain terms, figure it out, make it happen. You're supposed to. I'm told a lot of what I'm supposed to do, not, a viable method to go out and make it happen. Mm-hmm. So what we end up left with is just, okay, what's the play? How do I, how do I make this happen? Where am I supposed to dig? Where am I supposed to find? What happens when I'm lacking? Mm-hmm. Right? Where do I go when it comes time to,
where you need to be poured into?
Right. It comes to the point where all I feel is I'm constantly pouring out. Where, and one of the things I'm always fond of saying, yo, you can't pour from an empty cup, but it feels like my cup has been empty for such a long time, and the only one going in and doing anything about it, trying to increase, its volume, it's like this weird circle. I've got to pour into myself, into the same motion at the same time.
You have to regenerate.
Right. while I'm still out supporting everyone else. And over
and
time,
that's not healthy. It's not healthy. It's not sustainable.
It's not sustainable. So to focus on the unhealthy part, it gets to the point where you're no longer able to recognize when someone is trying to pour into you. Right? You're so used to walking through the desert, you walk right past the oasis. So it's got to be another mirage. So someone there recognizes what you're doing, sees that struggle, and says, let me see where I can lighten your load, where I can slake your thirst just a little bit. I know I'm not the solution to your problem, but now, the same way when people get hurt, in which they now start to protect themselves, so they lash out first, because it's easier to feel justified in that than actually be open to when someone says, let me help you.
Right, because you would assume because of those experiences, or the lack of experiences, someone has an ulterior motive, or what's the catch?
Or
what's the catch here?
You're right. Sometimes not even just as ulterior motive. I'm so afraid that the help you give, the help you present, will not that it won't be enough, it won't be around. Right? You get very used to the load that's on your back. But I mean, you can attest when your body starts breaking down, but it's never immediately, right?
Hey, don't take it.
It ends up being like over time. You like one of my good friends, his son was in a car accident, and he's fine, but he was telling them, and this is all from our experience. Yeah, you're gonna feel like shit tomorrow. You're gonna feel like shit. Right now, you feel fine. Right now, you just you're a little banged up. You're a little emotionally like, oh shit, that was weird. Wow. The next day, he slept. His body was like, you're shocked, the bruising, the rattling around. So that's what happens when you carry that load for such a long time. You're good at it, and even when you set it down, you still feel fine. So I'm so used to running and doing this stuff by myself. I set the load down for a moment, fine, and here comes someone saying, "Let me do something nice for you," and it's like this. You don't know how to take it. You're stunned.
Yeah. I think that's what a lot of men feel, and I honestly think that's what we're seeing. We're seeing a lot of that online, on socials. I mean, there are women out here who crazy, who talk just a lot of crazy shit. So, a lot of the pushback, it makes sense. It's warranted. I mean, a lot of it is out of defensiveness. But I will say that a lot of the talk of, just leave women alone, don't trust these women, focus on yourself, king, which is true. Like, in general, man or woman, focus on you. Take care of yourself, right?
Yes.
Be a whole person. I get it.
Yes.
But more common than not, it is in a woman's instincts to want to nurture. More common than not, it's in her to want to come along and help solve a problem. There's usually something in her personal life that disrupts that, and but there's also this resilience with women. It's especially when it comes to the matter of the heart. And I know we see women online with their grievances and men ain't shit. Da da da. That's not new, right? Like I promise you this is not new because a lot of people say, oh, the modern woman. Before we had social media, y'all had that one auntie or that one cousin.
Right,
Shit.
right.
Y'all had it and you probably saw some of the women in the neighborhood.
Right, but
and some of them were married.
It becomes a distinction. It becomes a distinction without a difference. That yes,
right.
That this type of rhetoric isn't new, but it is the first time it's being propagated in front of everyone. And just like trash TV, we've accepted it and we've drawn it into ourselves.
This is the new version of Jerry Springer. It's the new version of
Maury,
Housewives,
but the difference is, it's the internalizing function of it. Is that this now sets the bar and sets the tone for how you govern your life. Most people were able to, even when Jerry Springer became very popular, there was an effect on the national consciousness. People began, this type of TV, they now craved it. It's the same thing when we even went from news being on at a certain time of the day till we switched to a 24-hour news cycle. The people's anxiousness shot through the roof, right? Because now, if it bleeds, it leads. Now news, and everyone's in a fervor to get more of your attention. So if I can hold your attention, then I can talk about whatever I need to talk about, right? I can pull that in and boom, I have that out there. So now people, and every single time, and this is when we have to sometimes take a step back and realize that a lot of us are kind of simple. Not that it's a bad thing. I think it's a natural thing. Humanity has routinely been carried forward by a small minority group pushing technological advancement, theology, pushing thought forward, and it's dragging a lot of humanity kicking and screaming. But that's been the nature of it. Like the first man or woman that took hot oil and put a chicken in it. Right, and then came out and said, yo, this is phenomenal. Advanced society, right? Advanced the culinary game throughout the world, right? It became this incredible thing.
Or it was just how they had to survive, right? This is how I have to cook this. And then everyone said, oh, hey, you didn't have a choice, but I do. This is pretty good.
Yeah, no, Muhammad, you missed the show, but we're doing after hours. We just chatting, we're talking. If you want to call in, right?
Hey, listen, tell Muhammad he should tag me because listen,
he can hear you.
That's true. Right. I just can't see the chat. Muhammad, you can tag me out because I love to see your input in the chat. Anyway,
he's one of the dope ones, right? He's one of the dope ones. But yeah, if you want the link, just say so, and then we can go. Did you drop
it in the chat?
I'm dropping.
You listen. We just had this discussion. We just had a debriefing.
Listen, for such a long time, it was just
first note was
for such a long time. Pinning it, right? Pinning it. But
because the people are probably hopping in and like, hey, I want in.
I've been trying to keep my eye on it, and it's just not been a lot of messages. It's not been the greatest day for the live stream, but we show up anyway, right? We show up anyway. That's been the name of the game of the channel. Show up and do the work anyway. Also, probably like, shut up and do the work. Name of the game. Shut up and do the work. But yeah, I think for the most part, people are very simple. And people want answers. Sometimes people want answers given to them, and it becomes the easiest thing. He said you're getting picked up by the mic. So I guess they hear you with a little bit of echo.
Oh, me?
Yeah.
Have I? Well, we were trying to test that before. If I had echo, so it may be that same thing that's going on.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, I just checked the YouTube. Yeah. Let's see. I gotta say that again.
Also, too, the only thing that may have changed.
Hold on, he jumped on. So let me.
Okay, I'm gonna hang up. It says it's 3 of us in here now, but I'm gonna hang up to see if you can, if his voice is. All right.
Sec. All right, I think we got you on.
Testing, 1, 2, 3.
I can hear you. See if I don't know if you sound if you have the echo because I got the YouTube muted on the other end. Hold on, let me see if we can. There we go. All right, it's it's funny sometimes you realize that how many people know what you look like and you have no clue what everyone else looks like. But listen, I really appreciate your input on the channel. Like seriously, we got a few people that actually come in here with real insight, they have something to say, and it makes the streams worth it, especially Subscriber Sundays, right? I think we have fun, I think we laugh, we joke, but I gotta extend my appreciation for your input there, so thank you. I think he dropped out. If you see this, yeah, I don't know. I see you on the YouTube, but
that's no problem. I'm nearby New York, and it's kind of interesting seeing someone start the whole YouTube journey from the ground up.
If you hear this, yeah, just hit the link again because it seems like it dropped you out of that spot. Yeah, I don't see you here in the link. So yeah, hit that back and then I think we can bring you back in. All right. I think you're back in. Can you say something? Let me know if you're actually getting the audio back and forth. Yeah, it keeps dropping you. All right, we can try just the audio. Maybe that's easier. Yeah, there's a delay from the video. If you hit it, just now, like mute the YouTube and just talk to me in that spot where it's not even having me here. No. Yeah, I mean, this is why we try to stress test things, and it's funny how it is just working for the last 45 minutes. You try to like last 45 minutes. Yeah, hop back in, hit the link again. Let me try to bring you back in. Okay. We got you back. Back. See yourself in one. Back in. All right. So video. 1 sec, right in here. So yeah, talk to me right here in the link. And you see me here right there with you. Do you see that? All right. So I see you on the stream on the YouTube, but I don't know why you have like a delay.
Testing, 1, 2, 3, testing.
The minute you talk, it kicks you right out. Dang. If you have time tomorrow, like around, let's call it 3 o'clock your time Eastern, I'm gonna boot this back up and we try to like nail it down, right? Because I think this whole thing is dope when we have this conversation with actual people here. Like the feed, I'm getting you in the feed, right? You see yourself now? Good? Are we real time though? And yeah, it's extra janky with him. Yeah. Yeah, we see you briefly on YouTube and then it jumps in, it jumps out. I don't know if the browser makes any difference between Chrome or Firefox. I'm a Firefox guy, by the way. Let's try to reset it. Yeah. No time. Yes. I don't know why that's. I don't know. But Javaris, it was kicking on all cylinders with you. Right. In fact, you know what? Let's try this. All right. Could you both hit that link? Javaris and Muhammad, hit that link. Let's see if we can create the actual room, the 3 of us on at one time. Maybe that makes it easier. Yeah. But you know, we gotta stress test things, because I would love to build out at least part of Subscriber Sundays, or like the chat we were just doing today, or a place where we all can be See, the thing is, did you hear any echo from him when he was on YouTube? Okay. To audio settings. Push echo. Okay. Audio game. Okay. So he knows what he's doing. Okay. Yeah, Twitch may be the thing, but now it feels like now we got to go to a whole new community. But if you got a simpler way to make this happen, I'm all for it. You know, I mean, probably maybe StreamYards might be an easier fix. now it's like important the entire project from OBS over to StreamYards. So yeah, if you look at the YouTube, then you're gonna see the delay. But if you talk to me in that link, in that chat where you see me, where from the link where you join with Video Ninja, that should look real time. But for whatever reason, it keeps dropping you out of that. So essentially, we wouldn't be trying to talk with each other on YouTube. We'd be trying to talk to each other on that link. Yeah. So it's muted for me, and I route the actual I route the audio through OBS, which then is streaming to YouTube. So if you just talk to me in Video Ninja, if it doesn't kick you out, then YouTube will just catch up when it catches up.
Testing, 1, 2, 3.
Oh yeah, I hear you, right? And if you,
all right,
right.
But great to meet you guys. It's been a fun journey seeing this whole thing go up and up.
Oh yeah, no, it's definitely a process. My preview. Yeah, I don't know why.
I hear both of you guys.
You can hear both of us? Wait, are you listening to? Are you listening to the YouTube?
I muted YouTube, then I realized it's probably better for internet traffic for me to close YouTube altogether and just do Video Ninja. And now there's no echo, very little delay.
Yeah, if we talk to each other through Video Ninja, then we should be good to go more in real time. I think Travaris was doing the same thing when we were talking. She just had the YouTube closed, so she didn't know anything about what was happening in the chat or anything like that. Yeah, but it still seems like we have a bit of a delay just on Video Ninja.
Yes.
But again, I have no idea why she was good, right? Why we were talking in real time, but then we had the echo. Yeah, maybe StreamYards is the easier thing to do. I would just have to like redo everything that I built in OBS over there, and that's fun. that's fun and exciting. But yeah, we'll find a solution, because I like this, the potential for this aspect of what we could do. Hey Lotus Flower, if you're in the stream now, yeah, we're trying to make it work, right? We're trying to figure things out. But at the very least, we're gonna try a couple of things. I might have to see if I could research what's causing the delay, and what keeps kicking him in and out. But we'll get it sorted. Again, tomorrow I'm gonna try to be on maybe in the afternoon. So Mahan, if you have time, hop on so we can try to get this sorted. I'm gonna troubleshoot a couple of different things and see if we can get this thing actually working. Because I think this is yeah, we're in a testing environment, right? We're trying to find the bugs and then eliminate the bugs so we can make this seamless as part of the whole thing. And yeah, and the echo.
Yeah, better now than when there's 100 people and you got people subscribing and giving money.
Right. We want to have a decent experience along with, you know, having fun and a decent topic, different experience. I think it would be dope if we could add this part to subscriber Sundays, where we can just kind of laugh and talk about stuff, but not so we can get like maybe 3-4 people in there. And if we can do it without a delay, without an echo, that would be, I think that would be dope. Because some of the reactions you guys have, like, and they're hilarious, and it makes these things worthwhile. Seeing the reaction, seeing the back and forth. Otherwise, sometimes like you're talking to the air, and you're trying to make this thing. Hopefully, make YouTube say, "Hey, recognize us, pay us a little more attention, give us a little more bandwidth, so we can create something."
No, I'm just working on the side, and so it's fine. Yeah, if it can work for 3-4 people, it can work for 300 people. Like, that's just how it scales. So
yeah, at that point, yeah, we're crossing our fingers.
I think your number one problem is that by taking a very reasonable stance on most things and not dunking on women or men, you're effectively going against the tide, because all the money is either dunking on women or dunking on men, shitting on black people, or like there's the money streams are so easy and good for those three things. If you do the opposite, the fervency of the internet, people on the internet, is just not there. They don't want to hear things that go against their own, bullshit.
Yeah. Yeah. I think as we talk about selling, yourself, selling a part of your soul for, a little bit of currency, I see how it's easy to make that decision. It's just, I'd be so fraudulent, because the amount of dope black men and women I know, I'd be like, yeah, I know you're lying. I know you're lying.
It's an interesting choice. I mean, it is a choice, because I'll give you an example that's my favorite. Kevin Samuels. I met that guy. I met him before he was big.
Really?
He was a loser. Yeah, he was a loser. He was always a loser. He was a cologne salesman.
Yeah.
And he, what he chanced upon, and it happened later in life because he started looking dignified visually, like aesthetically. He started using, pickup artistry that was on the radio, and he made it his own, and he manufactured this persona of this ladies' man. And I remember like making fun of him, because he had this video where like he's sitting there and these two really hot chicks come up to him like, "Hey, who are you? You smell great, da da da." And I was like, "Hey, you paid those two chicks. Like, does that work?" Like, and he's just like, because he's a loser in real life, he couldn't really talk. So I just kept talking shit to him. But he reused pickup artistry, manufactured a persona, and executed. But he himself was a loser. He never had chicks. To this day.
It's one of those things where, and we were talking about this earlier, when we try to pretend that our desire for women is just nothing, it's non-existent. We try to pretend it's not like the most motivating factor that a lot of us have in our lives, something that you should tame, something that you should learn how to navigate, how to direct. But once you know how to weaponize that, either it's push or pull, yeah, the money comes right in. The followers, everything comes right in.
he weaponized, and I give him full credit for execution. Because once he understood the formula, he implemented it to such a degree. And I remember, like, so in my head, he's a loser or whatever. But then, like, I was with some people, and one of the guys I was with, he was from the Atlanta region. He was like, "Oh yeah, I paid for the Kevin Samuels like club," and I was like, "What's that?" It's like, "Well, all the guys who are good high net worth, we pay in to get in for an exclusive meeting with other exclusive guys and girls, and we matchmake." And I was like, "Wait, so you spend money to get on his like group chat?" And women spend money to get on the group chat too, because he sold the women access to the guys. He sold the guys access to the women. Made money both ways.
That's good business.
By the end of his like life, I mean, again, he passed away unfortunately, but by the end, he was executing this money-making machine to such a high degree. It was wild, because I remember like the version I met in person. I'm like, how is this even happening? And it was the reps, because if you're on the mic 24/7, you get good.
You get good. Yeah.
You got good. And I'm not saying you're similar, but I see you getting good too. Because you're just getting so many reps on the mic.
Yeah.
Like eventually it's smoother and smoother and smoother.
Yep. One of the things that I think about when I first started, and it hasn't been a full year yet, just how difficult it was to talk, right? To get a few ideas out, to hold disparate ideas, at the same time, to say, all right, once I'm finished talking about this, I'm going to talk about this. I could literally feel my brain saying, cool, I'm holding this thought, ready to execute, ready to go. But in the beginning, all you do is stop, start, stop. And then once you go through these topics again and again, it becomes like, okay, you have this through line. And then it becomes very easy. The things you understand, it becomes very easy to manipulate, to push and pull one direction or the other. So if I want to have a conversation and tell men that it's the woman's fault, right? It's the woman's fault. There's a whole host of data and statistics and ideas in my head that can push you in that direction. I just now got to answer to the people I actually love. And they'll look at me and say, you didn't need that money. You didn't need that fame. Why'd you do that? Because I've got to throw a lot of people under the bus to make that point. And I want to be able to, one, sleep at night, two, not have a 4-hour conversation with my mom where she tells me, I raised you better than that.
Yeah, that's tough, but it's just accepted that the way you're going is against the river. It's not like you're not going to hit Kevin Samuels, because people don't want to hear.
People don't want to hear anything reasonable. People want to be stuck in exactly where they are. Listen, we can make fun of hyperbolic people and stuff they say, but at the end of the day, we take it and say, you understand this is probably from a place of hurt. This isn't probably really how people move. And the data's there. Hate it or love it, the data's there. The data's like, no, this is actually what's happening. And even if I wanted to, right? And that was the modus operandi. How do you now become a bigger hater of what's happening than what's already out there? People are already well versed in the sort of hate and the push and pull. There's so much that comes out, like Abba, from Abba and Preach, with the other women that are saying they did this and that. What's the lesson that we take away from that? Right? Hey, live kind of how you are. Like, how can I, in terms of denigrating a man, I can't do it better than some of these other people do. So why even take the attempt? If it means we're going to have slow growth and we're going to have a group of people that understand that life is nuanced and life is in the grays and you have to make your own fairness, your own pockets of fairness. Okay. You know, if we can get to a point, 100,000 of us in here, I'll call that a huge win. I'll call that a win. Millions, I don't see that happening until we see a paradigm shift with the rest of society and people realize, yo, we've been better together than not.
I say you do more than relationship stuff. You do more add variety.
Yeah, no,
how many times can you keep saying like reasonable stuff? Like it's the same shit. Like, hey, how about be nice to people? You can say that
hey, right. The golden rule: don't be a dick. But we've got Money Mondays. We got the Subscriber Sundays, right? Where we just what's funny, what's interesting, and then whatever main event. Then we created the unlicensed, where we can talk about real issues, what's bothering you, things that matter. You know, I want like a law and crime segment as well. So it's just creating them and then finding the right pockets. And of course, you know, the idea is that you build it and they will come, and hopefully YouTube will push it out to the right people. But YouTube is a fickle mistress. So you can create the thing and then YouTube's like, you would never talk about this before. You know, if it's not adjacent to some celebrity that's going through it, YouTube doesn't really push it. So a lot of it ends up being labors of love. You try it and hopefully it resonates with people. And then when the people that it does, they seem to be, you know, actually more on board, right? Not fly by night individuals. So, you know, in that sense, we can take some solace in understanding like that's the way it should be.
Yeah, good luck. Happy to see you succeed. I'm just on the YouTube comments, like it's like just making jokes.
Yeah, you know, we gotta take YouTube with a grain of salt. Most women in that use their body to earn money. Yeah, that was good. He was discussing the only. Yeah, listen, the internet is a vast place. It's the place closest to a democracy that you'll actually see, outside of the strictures of whatever, you know, platform you're using. So a lot of us want to use the easy way out, just like we're talking about here by Muhammad himself, where, yeah, if we go out here, we start bashing men or women, we start pandering to either side, the numbers will shoot up. The numbers will skyrocket. We'll start seeing, instead of, you know, subscribers trickling in, we'll see real growth. But then to me, you kind of become lost in the noise. You're just another channel. That's the only pocket that that's the only lane we may have to realize. If we come on and say, listen, you want to sell your body on the internet, you want to do that, okay, cool. Just accept the consequences of that behavior. Just accept that what happens after that. And then when you come back later and say, what was me, like you see a lot of OF creators saying now, we're going to look and say, life, after you become an adult, becomes about you get what you earn. You've kind of earned this bag, so you have to sit with it. Is it fair? No, but we also didn't think it was fair when you ran up the score based on your body. When that type of lifestyle, and a lot of these lifestyles spit you out once you're no longer relevant. Same thing with people bashing women. There's only so many different ways you can bash women, to the point where if you become big enough, right, there's still a mechanism in place to smash you down, where you see mainstream media comes and it says, bet I got you, right? They start putting their thumb on you, and then eventually the sponsors drop out, the demonetization happens, and then you get out of pocket. You can be as big as Fresh and Fit, and then YouTube's like, cut it. So now you're living off the donations, you're living off super chats. versus at the time, what were you making? Let's not to say what happens when you actually leave this space, when you leave this pocket, because content creating is not fun. When you go into the real world and you become big enough where you're known, people know you by what you said, even though you're trying to explain to them, I was just selling something. Same thing you see with MJ Gray, same thing you see with Call It Daddy. People selling you all this misandry and then have husbands and pregnant, and people are left saying, I followed you, I modeled my life after you. If you're gonna model your life after me, I want it to be one where he said, yeah, man, he showed up and he tried as hard as he could, and then the next day he did it again. And then the next day he did it again. And then the next day he did it again. Yeah, he was tired. And he said, yeah, we're gonna do it again because we said we're gonna do it again. I like that to be a better legacy. And if we only get 5,000 subscribers off it, okay, we did it. Right? But at least it's 5,000 reasonable people that say, I get it. Because it's very easy for us to get to the spot and where we, every time you open up the app, they're telling you something that as a man you're failing to do. You should be doing more of this. If only you did this. How do you keep black men accountable? I'm not responsible for that man across the pond. I'm responsible for what I create here. And you can judge me by my works here. Look at this and say, this is what we created. This is what we're doing.
That's really it, man. If you got, that's all I really want to say. I just want to wish you best of luck.
Nah, I appreciate it. I'll see you in the chat. We're gonna try. We're gonna test this out tomorrow some more. I appreciate you being part of the beta testing. Again, hopefully we can get this up and running, and we can get more reasonable people that agree with what we're doing. And again, thank you for being one of those. Let me hit you guys with the outro one more time.
I did not know I held so much goodness. All seems beautiful to me.